In the vast, cold expanse of space, a transmission echoed through the intricate communication networks of the Galactic Council. The message carried whispers of a species that had caught the attention of ancient civilizations, humans from planet Earth. J. Park stood in the sleek, minimalist control room of Earth's Interstellar Communication Center. His dark eyes reflected the holographic displays dancing with complex data streams and alien communication protocols. Around him, technicians worked silently, their fingers moving across quantum interfaces with practiced precision. The Galactic Council's representative, a slender being named Kongmin, appeared as a translucent hologram. His appearance was humanoid but distinctly alien, skin with a subtle metallic sheen and eyes that seemed to shift colors with each passing moment. Humanity's technological progression is alarming, Kongmin stated, his voice digitally translated into perfect, emotionless English. Your species has developed capabilities that typically take civilizations thousands of years to achieve in merely decades. Jay remained calm, his posture relaxed but alert. He understood the underlying tension in Kongmin's statement. Humans were not just another species to be categorized or controlled. They were something different, unpredictable, adaptive, and rapidly evolving. The communications center hummed with energy. Quantum computers processed millions of calculations per second, decoding and analyzing the alien transmission. Sophisticated algorithms compared the communication patterns, searching for hidden meanings and potential threats. Kongmin continued, his holographic form flickering slightly. The Council recommends a complete technological restriction. Your advancements in quantum computing, genetic engineering, and faster-than-light communication technologies are unprecedented. A slight smile crossed Jay's face. The recommendation was less a request and more a thinly veiled threat. Humans had always been rebellious, pushing boundaries and challenging established norms. This was no different. We appreciate the Council's concern, Jay responded, his tone diplomatic yet firm. However, humanity's progress is our own journey. We do not seek conflict, but we will not be constrained. In orbital stations surrounding Earth, advanced defense systems powered up silently. Satellites equipped with cutting-edge technology monitored potential alien movements. Humanity had learned from historical conflicts, preparation was key. Hannah Lee, the lead research scientist, entered the communication room. Her tablet displayed complex technological schematics that would have looked like incomprehensible art to most observers. But to her, they represented humanity's future, a future of unlimited potential. The transmission analysis is complete, Hannah reported. Her voice was steady, professional. Alien communication patterns suggest a mix of concern and underlying fear. Kongmin's hologram shifted, revealing a momentary flicker of emotion. Was it frustration? Concern? The alien representative's composure was carefully maintained, but beneath the surface, something was brewing. The Galactic Council had encountered many species throughout millennia of exploration. Some were peaceful, some were aggressive, but none had demonstrated the rapid, unpredictable growth that humans showed. Humanity was an anomaly, a variable that couldn't be easily calculated or controlled. Jay understood this. Humanity's strength wasn't just in its technology, but in its ability to adapt, to dream, to push beyond known limitations. Every restriction imposed would be met with innovation, every barrier with creativity. We will review the Council's recommendations, Jay said finally, knowing full well that review didn't mean comply. Humanity respects dialogue, but we will not be dictated to. The transmission ended. The hologram of Kongmin flickered and disappeared, leaving behind a sense of unresolved tension. Outside the communication center, Earth continued its rotation. Cities buzzed with life, research facilities hummed with activity, and space exploration missions prepared for launch. Humanity was moving forward, with or without the Galactic Council's approval. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would reshape galactic politics forever. In a nondescript research facility nestled in the mountains of South Korea, Hannah Lee worked tirelessly. Her team of scientists had been developing something that would change everything, a quantum communication technology that could revolutionize interstellar communication. The laboratory was a marvel of modern engineering. Sleek white walls reflected soft blue light from numerous computer screens. Complex machines hummed with energy, processing data at speeds that would have seemed impossible just a decade ago. Hannah's fingers moved quickly across the holographic interface. Lines of code danced around her, creating intricate patterns that only she could fully understand. Her colleagues watched in silent anticipation. They knew something big was about to happen. Outside, the world continued its normal routine. Cities bustled, people went about their daily lives, completely unaware of the breakthrough happening in this quiet mountain facility. But everything was about to change. The quantum communication device looked deceptively simple, a small metallic cube no larger than a basketball. But inside, it contained technology that could potentially rewrite the rules of galactic communication. It could transmit information across impossible distances, bypassing traditional communication limitations. Initial test sequence begins, Hannah announced, her voice calm but filled with a subtle excitement. The cube began to emit a soft blue glow. Surrounding equipment started to pulse with energy, creating a complex electromagnetic field that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around it. Monitors flickered, showing impossible data streams that defied current scientific understanding. Alien monitoring stations across multiple star systems suddenly lit up. Sophisticated detection systems began recording unprecedented signal strengths. Something was happening, something they had never seen before. In the Galactic Council's central communication hub, alarms began to sound. Technicians from various alien species scrambled to understand the source of the unusual transmission. The signal was unlike anything in their extensive database. Back in the mountain facility, Hannah watched as the quantum communication device completed its first successful transmission. Data streamed across screens, revealing capabilities that would fundamentally change everything humanity understood about communication. "We've done it," she whispered, a smile breaking across her typically serious face. The implications were massive. This technology could potentially communicate across entire galaxies instantaneously. No more time delays, no more limited communication ranges. Humanity had just created something that would make current interstellar communication look like ancient smoke signals. Alien intelligence networks began to panic. Their monitoring systems couldn't properly analyze or classify the transmission. It was too advanced, too different from anything they had encountered before. Jay Park received the first report 30 minutes later. His expression remained neutral, but a spark of pride flickered in his eyes. Humanity had just taken another massive leap forward. "Prepare the initial report," he told his team. "But keep the details restricted. We don't want the entire galaxy knowing everything just yet." The quantum communication device continued to pulse softly in its containment area. To an untrained eye, it might have looked like nothing more than an interesting piece of technology. But to those who understood its potential, it represented something far more significant, a turning point in human technological development. Alien monitoring stations continued to record the unusual signals. Their advanced systems worked overtime, trying to decode and understand the transmission. But the technology was so advanced, so fundamentally different, that it seemed almost like magic to their existing scientific frameworks. In the days that followed, rumors began to spread. Whispers of a technological breakthrough that would change everything. Some were excited, some were terrified. But one thing was certain: humanity had just demonstrated that they were not a species to be underestimated. Hannah Lee returned to her work, already thinking about the next breakthrough. This was just the beginning. Humanity's potential seemed limitless, and they were just getting started. The quantum communication device continued to pulse softly, a small metallic cube that represented humanity's next giant leap into the unknown. The diplomatic meeting room was tense, filled with a thick silence that seemed to press against the walls. Young Kim sat perfectly straight, her dark eyes scanning the holographic representatives from various alien civilizations. Each delegation watched her with a mixture of curiosity and barely concealed hostility. "Humanity's recent technological developments are a direct threat to established galactic protocols," announced the Orion sector representative, his voice sharp and cold. His translucent blue skin seemed to shimmer with barely contained anger. Yun remained calm. She knew this wasn't just a diplomatic meeting, it was a potential confrontation that could determine humanity's future in the interstellar community. Behind the scenes, Sung Choi prepared defensive strategies. Military installations across Earth were quietly activating advanced defense systems. Satellites with cutting-edge tracking technologies scanned potential threat zones. Humanity would not be caught unprepared. The Galactic Council's central chamber buzzed with tension. Holographic displays showed complex data streams, tracking human technological progressions. Each breakthrough was analyzed, dissected, and discussed with growing concern. Your quantum communication technology violates multiple interstellar communication treaties, another representative stated. Her voice carried a diplomatic tone, but the underlying threat was clear. Yun's response was measured. Our technology represents progress. We are not seeking conflict, but we will not be restricted by outdated regulations. Earth's diplomatic team had prepared extensively. They understood that this was more than a simple meeting, it was a chess game where the stakes were humanity's future in the galactic community. Monitoring stations across multiple star systems tracked the diplomatic exchanges. Every word, every gesture was analyzed with microscopic precision. Humanity had become an unpredictable variable in the carefully balanced galactic ecosystem. Sung Choi reviewed defense protocols in a separate secured facility. Advanced weapon systems were calibrated, not as a threat, but as a necessary precaution. Humanity had learned from history, preparedness was key to survival. The diplomatic meeting continued, with each side presenting arguments, counter-arguments, and thinly veiled threats. The alien representatives tried multiple approaches: economic pressure, technological restrictions, subtle intimidation. Yun Kim remained unshaken. She represented a species that had survived world wars, global challenges, and centuries of internal conflicts. Galactic politics seemed almost trivial in comparison. We are willing to discuss cooperation, Yun said, her voice calm and clear. But we will not compromise our right to technological advancement. Behind the diplomatic facade, humanity's research facilities continued their work. New technologies were being developed, scientific boundaries were being pushed. The diplomatic tension would not slow their progress. The Galactic Council's representative, Kang Min, watched the proceedings with a complex expression. Humans were different, unpredictable, innovative, refusing to be categorized or controlled. Hours passed. The diplomatic meeting became a marathon of negotiations, technical discussions, and carefully constructed statements. Each side tested the other's resolve, searching for weaknesses. Yun understood the larger game. This wasn't just about current technologies or immediate concerns. This was about establishing humanity's position in the broader galactic community. As the meeting concluded, no clear resolution was reached. But something had changed. The alien representatives now viewed humanity not as a potential threat, but as a serious, unpredictable force that could not be easily dismissed. Sung Choi received the diplomatic reports. He nodded, understanding that while words were exchanged in the meeting room, real power was demonstrated through technological capability and unwavering resolve. The day ended. Diplomatic channels remained open, but the underlying tension remained. Humanity had made its position clear: they would progress, they would innovate, and they would do so on their own terms. In research facilities, military installations, and diplomatic centers across Earth, preparations continued. The galaxy was watching, and humanity was ready. The first wave of alien warships emerged from hyperspace without warning. Sleek, metallic vessels that seemed to blend darkness and light, their advanced weaponry targeting Earth's primary research facilities. Sung Choi was already in motion before the first alarm sounded. His fingers danced across quantum communication interfaces, activating defense protocols that had been meticulously planned for years. Humanity would not be caught unprepared. Earth's orbital defense systems came alive. Thousands of interconnected satellites transformed from passive monitoring platforms into active defense networks. Adaptive shield technologies, developed in secret mountain laboratories, created complex energy barriers that seemed to anticipate rather than simply react. The alien strike force consisted of 3 massive battlecruisers from the Centauri Confederation. Their tactical approach was centuries-old overwhelming force, precise targeting, complete technological superiority. They had conquered dozens of civilizations using these strategies. They did not know they were about to face humanity. Jay Park watched the incoming assault from the underground command center. His team of strategists worked with machine-like precision, routing defense systems, analyzing attack patterns, and preparing counterstrikes. The first alien energy weapons struck Earth's defensive perimeters. Traditional military systems would have collapsed instantly. But humanity's adaptive technologies did something unexpected. They absorbed the energy, analyzed its frequency, and immediately generated a perfect defensive counter-signature. "Redirect quantum network," Jay commanded. His voice was calm, almost clinical. Alien commanders realized something was wrong when their most advanced weapons began to fail. Targeting systems became confused. Communication networks started experiencing inexplicable interference. Their perfectly planned invasion was falling apart before it even truly began. Hannah Lee's research team had prepared for this moment. The quantum communication device wasn't just a communication tool, it was a comprehensive technological defense system that could adapt faster than any known military intelligence. Defensive satellites began launching precision counterstrikes. Each missile, each energy burst was calculated with impossible accuracy. The alien battlecruisers found themselves targeted not just where they were, but where they were going to be milliseconds later. One by one, the alien ships began to lose functionality. Their advanced systems were being systematically dismantled by technologies they couldn't comprehend. It wasn't just defense, it was a complete technological deconstruction. Sung Choi's lips curved into a slight smile. "Target acquired," he muttered. The confrontation lasted less than 17 minutes. When it was over, the alien strike force was completely neutralized. No human casualties. No significant infrastructure damage. Just total, complete technological defeat. Galactic monitoring stations received the transmission simultaneously. A small, insignificant planet had just defeated one of the most advanced military forces in the known galaxy without firing a single traditional weapon. Kong Min, watching from the Galactic Council's central hub, felt a chill run through his alien nervous system. Humanity was not just another species to be categorized or controlled. They were something entirely different. The defeated alien battlecruisers drifted helplessly, their systems completely paralyzed. They had come expecting a simple, quick invasion. Instead, they discovered a civilization that could turn their most advanced technologies into simple, useless metal. Jay Park's final transmission to the alien commander was simple and direct: "We do not seek conflict. But we will defend ourselves." News of the confrontation spread quickly through alien communication networks. Reactions varied from shock to disbelief. How could a relatively young species demonstrate such technological sophistication? In research facilities across Earth, scientists continued their work. This wasn't a moment of celebration, but simply another step in humanity's ongoing journey of exploration and innovation. The unexpected confrontation had changed everything. The galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent. Representatives from hundreds of advanced civilizations stared at the holographic report, unable to process what they had just witnessed. Kong Min stood at the center, his metallic skin reflecting the harsh light of the central projection. The defeat of the Centauri Confederation's military strike by Earth was more than just a military failure. It was a fundamental shift in galactic power dynamics. "Humanity has demonstrated capabilities beyond our current understanding," Kong Min announced, his voice steady but carrying an underlying tone of concern. "We must recalibrate our entire approach to this species." Emergency sessions were called across multiple star systems. Diplomatic channels that had existed for thousands of years suddenly seemed obsolete. Humanity had rewritten the rules of engagement without even intending to do so. Jay Park received encrypted transmissions from multiple alien governments. Some sought diplomatic discussions, others requested technology exchanges, and a few hinted at potential alliances. The balance of power had dramatically shifted in less than a day. Research facilities on Earth continued their work, seemingly unaware of the massive political earthquake they had just created. Hannah Lee and her team were already developing new quantum communication technologies, treating the recent confrontation as nothing more than a standard research challenge. The Galactic Council's historical archives were being rewritten. Humanity was no longer classified as a developing species but as a potential primary galactic power. Their technological adaptability had become legendary overnight. Sung Choi monitored global defense networks, understanding that the real challenge was not the recent confrontation, but maintaining humanity's technological edge. Military strategists worldwide began developing new protocols that anticipated future alien interactions. Alien civilizations that had previously considered humanity a potential threat now saw them as a necessary strategic partner. The technological gap was not just significant, it was revolutionary. "We must approach humanity with respect," one Orion sector representative stated during a closed-door meeting. "They are not a civilization to be controlled or managed. They are a force to be understood." Yun Kim, leading Earth's diplomatic team, carefully managed the incoming requests for communication and technology exchanges. Each interaction was calculated, maintaining humanity's newfound strategic advantage. The quantum communication device that had started this journey continued to pulse softly in its secured research facility. To an untrained eye, it looked like a simple piece of technology. To those who understood its implications, it represented humanity's ticket to the stars. Galactic trade routes began to shift. Economic systems that had remained stable for centuries started to recalibrate. Humanity was no longer an observer in the galactic community, they were a central player. Research teams across Earth worked with increased passion. The recent confrontation had proven that their innovations could change everything. No longer were they confined by previous scientific limitations. Kang Min's final report to the Galactic Council was brutally honest: humanity is not to be underestimated. They represent a new paradigm of technological and strategic thinking that we cannot predict or control. The message was clear: humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they were here to stay. Earth continued its rotation, cities buzzed with life, and research facilities hummed with activity. To the average person, nothing seemed different. But in the vast, complex networks of galactic politics, everything had changed. Jay Park looked out the window of the communication center, a slight smile crossing his face. Humanity's journey was just beginning, and the galaxy would never be the same. The recalibration was complete. A new era had begun.